Irfan Razack, the chairman and MD, joins us on the show right now. Mr. Razack, hi. Good days for you guys. You've given a strong sales guidance where you're aiming to sustain about 10,000 crore rupee plus in sales. Are you on track with this pre-sales guidance?
The team has really worked hard, and I do hope that they come up with the numbers and come and tell me that they've crossed this target and goal of 10K. I think we should cross it easily.
You know, since we have you with us on board, and before I talk more about your business, I just wanted to get a sense, you know, there are reports doing the rounds that a lot of builders in and around, especially Mumbai, have said that they're going to shut shop their projects owing to the heavy raw material prices and the kind of inflation that's hit them hard. Just wanted to understand how are things on ground with you guys and in and around the areas that you operate in, because I mean, everything from steel, cement to labor, the cost push has been extremely steep.
Yes, this is a serious cause of concern. Especially cement and steel. Steel has shot up to the roof, and I don't see any reason why it should just go through the roof. It's about 80K plus today, and it's becomes unsustainable for us. If the construction cost goes up so high, so fast, we pre-sold our product, it'll straight away come and hit the bottom line. So I do believe that this sort of increase in price is not sustainable. It is likely to go down, but in the interim till it goes down, it is very tough to buy at these prices. And I think that's the reason why, as a body, builders have said, listen, we can't buy material at this stage. We may as well shut shop for some time. We may as well, what it means is we may as well not buy any more steel for some time. What it means is also that we all have stock of steel in our various sites, and we'll start consuming that, and then we'll hope and pray that some wise sense prevails and this comes down. Yes, labor is, I think, something that has to correct itself, and they need to be paid well and properly. But that is not that such a big concern. But all other components, apart from steel and cement, everything else has gone up. So consequently, what will happen is the price of the selling price of the product will go up at least by 10%, if not more. So that is the cause for concern. Whether the price goes up again too high, the sales momentum is sure to soften up, and it will not find favor with customers because it will breach the affordability barrier. It's a balance that we've been talking about this for the last 3 quarters now, and it's now come to a head.
Because steel prices have gone higher, cement prices have gone higher, real estate pricing, the underlying real estate pricing has not gone higher in proportion with, let's say, steel and cement. So can I say that knock is coming at the balance sheet level, at the P&L level for Prestige and for other builders?
Fortunately, the knock has not yet come, but there is no other way. See, what will happen is we'll have to increase prices. And that's happened gradually over a period of time. We've seen it coming. It's not the last 3 quarters. We've seen it slowly, gradually creep up. So we've been correcting our prices also gradually. But the steep increase, yes, is something that, again, is cyclical. We will manage our bottom line. I don't think that should be a problem. But then my only worry is if the selling price goes up too high, it breaches the affordability barrier, and that is where the problem will come. I only hope it doesn't come so soon. That's the only reason why I believe that while we are trying to keep our pricing within control, the input prices should not go up, and that is the only concern that we have. We are striving for it. Let us see, because we can't do business with only cash flows. We have to see that bottom lines are also properly controlled, properly protected, because if we have loans, we have interests to service and overheads to service. And definitely without a proper bottom line, we can't do business. And this will impact everything. So it's very important that while we are looking at sales, while we are looking at cash flows, we must see that we have decent
margins of profit, without which, again, it will lead to a crisis. Every company wants that the product they are in, that price should not come down, raw material should come down. If I speak to steel industry, they are saying, look, don't blame it on us, it's because of iron ore. If I ask iron ore guys, they're saying, don't blame it on us, it is transport. If I ask the transport guys, they said, don't blame it on us, let's everybody blame it on the war. Bottom line is, commodity prices are a function of what is happening in the world. So my question to you, sir, is, what if? What if because of energy shock, war, supply chain disruption, steel and cement price, they do not come down for next 2 quarters, 3 quarters?
No, what if already the price is the same thing? I'll say I can't not reduce my price. But the problem is if I pre-sold, then it definitely will impact my bottom line. Pre-sold everything. But you see, generally, no developer sells off everything on day one. We also keep selling gradually. So it just gets made up. But my only thing is that let's not allow prices to go up so high that again we get back into that reverse cycle that people can't afford to buy your product. That's all. See, today I can't afford to buy the steel. So that's a reverse cycle. So what will happen is the steel producer, though he's priced it that high, there won't be intake, there won't be offtake. So that's the function of demand and supply. So people, when they increase their pricing, have to be making sure that these prices are going to be accepted by the market.
The challenge could be interest rates. I mean, we've had an unusually low period of interest rates. If I look at the demand in housing at affordable level, it's also a function of interest rates have come down from 8% to 6.5%, 6.75%. When that will also start normalizing, it really could be in double whammy.
It will be, because interest rates also are not going to be where they are at the moment. There is the writing on the wall. So we have to be careful. We have to do all our strategizing, our thought processes, our launches. Everything else has to be kept in mind that the party is not going to be there forever. We have to make sure that we provide for these things. I mean, there's no sense in just throwing caution to the wind and saying, no, everything will be all right. We have to look at these things. We have to provide for these things. We have to plan for these things. Like in 2020, we got hit by COVID. Who planned for it? Nobody expected it. But something like this is, when the writing is on the wall, we have to plan for it. We have to provide for it. And it makes business sense for us to do whatever the right moves have to be made.
So have you figured out that as we also enter the new financial year, and just taking forward the conversation that Nikunj was having, you'll have interest rates going up, so your home loans are going to go up at a time when the property market is booming. You yourself have talked about the commodity prices, the inflation that has crept in. Have you figured out how you're going to balance it? What kind of a price hike? You're going to invoke the cost escalation clause in your buyer agreements?
Nayantara, unfortunately, across the country, no developer has this clause in where you can invoke the price increase. RERA also doesn't permit that. We have to sell at a fixed cost. So that is the danger. That is why developers across the country are now talking, saying, listen, let's have a sort of a clause in the agreements, which we are talking now to the authorities and saying, if the commodity price goes up unprecedented, we need to be protected. There needs to be a sort of a price escalation mechanism. Because then what it does is the home buyer gets affected. Now he's the final, home buyer is the final, sort of cog in the wheel. And they have their budgets. They actually think of the last rupee before they go and commit their home at what price they are buying. And if at all we keep increasing the price for them, it will be breaking their back. So we have to be sensitive to these things. And while we have to be in business, we do have to keep producing, we do have to keep selling. But then selling how much, selling to whom? And that's the questions that we keep asking ourselves. It's an introspection, which is a continuous thing. It doesn't stop. And I think as long as we are able to balance these things, we'll keep doing business. Otherwise, things will slow down. That's nothing. There's nothing more that we can say on it. For sure, we have to make things in such a way that the customer, end consumer, the product should be affordable, and they shouldn't get affected.